They call me Mayor Pete. I am a proud son of South Bend, Indiana, and I am running for President of the United States.
If you're asking who, well, so were most Americans, outside of South Bend at least, not that long ago. No Democrat hopeful has risen so far, so fast in the race to take on Trump in 2020. With his husband chastened by his side, Mayor Pete is the breakout star of a crowded field.
If America today feels like a confusing place to live, it's because we're on one of those blank pages in between chapters. Change is coming, ready or not.
The show in Washington right now is exhausting.
The son of an immigrant father from Malta, a Rhodes Scholar, a mayor by 29 years old. In his first term, he took leave to serve in Afghanistan, came back, came out, and was re-elected in a landslide. He'd promised a working-class revival in South Bend, bringing back jobs and reversing the population drain. When we rolled through town last October, he was catching his breath. The hostile and divisive 2018 midterm election campaign was coming to an end.
One thing that I hope to see is that our national politics could come to resemble perhaps a bit more the kind of local politics that mayors like me do.
There's 4 steps to filling in a pothole I'm going to show you.
But do mayors like him become presidents? Even social media savvy, meme-inspiring mayors who boast 8 languages, including Norwegian, and could be professional pianists. It'll take more than that to drown out the other 17 diverse and experienced Democrats who've declared to have any chance, Mayor Pete must corner the market for millennial voters.
What do you think of Pete Buttigieg?
I don't know anything about that.
Have you heard of him before?
No, sorry.
Are you sort of looking for somebody who's younger? I mean, the front runners at the moment seem to be older, like Bernie Sanders or Joe Biden if he runs.
I like both of them too as well. Yeah, either or.
Joe Biden,
whoever has our best interests.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Anything different.
Yeah.
We need a change.
What do you think of Pete Buttigieg?
He's an interesting candidate. He's young, he's smart. He's got a really awesome background for a young person like me. We look to education a lot. That's a huge thing. So I'd like to see him sort of having led more than 104,000 people out there in South Bend. But certainly will be an interesting candidate, if not now, at some point.
What he lacks in experience, he'll aim to make up for with authenticity and something else, something the US has heard in a presidential candidate's announcement before.
Look, I recognize that there is a certain presumptuousness in this, a certain audacity.
I recognize the audacity of doing this as a Midwestern millennial mayor. But we live in a moment that compels us each to act.
This moment must become momentum for Mayor Pete if he's to be a real contender. Momentum he would have to build and sustain for 19 months to win the White House.
Now, anything can happen in US politics, but we are very far away, and it is a very long road from South Bend, Indiana, population 100,000, to here at the White House. And there are plenty of obstacles in the path of Pete Buttigieg. There is a huge field, a diverse field in terms of gender, in terms of race, of Democrat candidates that he will have to knock out to get here. And the last hurdle, the biggest, of course, Donald Trump himself. As for the Democrats running, there is a diversity of fundraising power, of political policy platforms, and of age. As you said, Pete Buttigieg is 37. Bernie Sanders is 77. The former Vice President, Joe Biden, who hasn't declared yet if he'll run, is 76. So some say there is a disadvantage there for Mayor Pete, that experience will be a problem. But then there's this other idea that perhaps voters know everything they already need to know about someone like Bernie Sanders, like Joe Biden. Perhaps there's a mystery around Mayor Pete that people, for now, this far out, are finding pretty exciting.